So our next speaker is Mike Chobanian, President of Blockchain Association of Ukraine, Crypto Heaven, how it will work without populism. Thank you.
Thank you. Гамарджоба, Тбилиси. Рогорахар. На этом заканчивается все, что я помню на грузинском. Language, English or Russian? Raise your hands. Russian? English? Please raise your hands for English. We don't have a translation in English? Okay, so English, Russian. Okay, just a few. Okay, in that case, sorry, in Russian. Yeah, where's the clicker? Українською мовою, так. Давайте українською мовою. Thank you. All right, so my name is Michael Chobanian. I'm from Ukraine. This is basically all my projects. I'm going to talk about the serious things, so before I do that, it's ideal that you know who I am and what I do and why you should at least listen to something what I'm going to say. So the key project that I'm leading is Kuna. It's an exchange in Ukraine. It's a local exchange, but we're working on expanding into countries including Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkey, and so on. We have the blockchain hub. This is the physical hub for all the blockchain projects. We have the conference room, meetups rooms. We always hold the meetups there and conferences. I have the Cryptomat. This is where you put the fiat money in and you get the crypto. You have a few of them in Tbilisi, I know. The association, this is something new, and this is my amplua for today. And KUAH is the project Crypto Grivna, so it's stable coin. My colleague is going to talk about that later. So obviously, I'm going to continue the theme of talking about regulation and what's going to happen to I'm sorry, how do you click this? Можно просто следующий нажать? For those who want it in Russian, the slides are in Russian. So this is the, it's not my map, I didn't draw that. This is the map from Bloomberg. They're showing the regulation in different countries. We see the darker ones is strict, the white one is nothing. And obviously China is over there because they have a ban, you know that. We also have Russia in the dark. The reason for that is there is no regulation, but they have police, they have prosecution, prokuratura, who do the regulation themselves without the law, you know that. US, they have SEC, very similar thing to Russian. And we have some specific countries in Asia who are thinking about regulating it, banning it, and so on. But in general, it's still pretty much the open world for us. This is just a comparison of countries. Obviously, the key message from this slide is also coming from Bloomberg. It's not my data. You know the top countries. Which top countries you know right now for Bitcoin and crypto in general in the world in terms of regulation? Come on, speak up. Switzerland, 1. Malta, Germany, what else? Gibraltar. Portugal. Belarus, yes. Japan? Japan and Korea. Singapore, a bit. And Georgia is coming, yes, obviously Georgia. So this is just basically a comparison, what's good, what's bad, what's nothing, and so on and so on. We're going to continue. The next subject, Ukraine. Obviously, you can't see Ukraine on this map because we don't have a law yet. But you can see Ukraine on this map. So this is the snapshot of SimilarWeb. You know the website, it basically gives you analysis of any website you're trying to search. And we're looking at the Bitfenix. Does this work? Yes, so Bitfenix, the largest crypto in terms of BTC to US dollar. And if you look at the May figures and look at the traffic, you'll see that the #1 traffic is coming from Russia, #2 from Germany, #3 from Ukraine. If you look at the other exchanges like Polonix, Bittrex, Polonix, Expo, obviously, Wex, Kraken, you'll see Ukraine and Russia there. In terms of Germany, you probably know that most of the crypto enthusiasts in Russia and Ukraine, they use VPN for the obvious reasons, because we have police, we have KGB, we have prosecutor, and so on and so on. So probably some of the traffic of Germany is also Russia and Ukraine. So what I'm trying to say, we are big on crypto in terms of country. We're a smaller country comparing to Russia, but we're big on crypto. And that's the trend. If you ever come to Ukraine, which I invite you to visit Kiev, the regular meetup, though the small one is about 150 to 300 people. The good one is 1,000 people and up. This is the meetup. You know, it's not a conference, it's just a meetup. The conferences we have like nearly every single week, you know, it's like conference after conference after conference. So we are really big on that. The reason for that, what's the guess? Why you think Ukraine is big on crypto? Come on, speak up. Sorry? Good one. What else? I'll tell you. #1. We are #1 in the world, probably #1, at least top 5, corruption. We're good on that, very best. Probably they're best in Europe, definitely. And what comes with corruption? Comes with corruption, you don't trust the government. After not trusting the government, you don't trust the banks. And what's the alternative to bank? Crypto. Right now, if you want to invest something, some of your savings in Ukraine, the top pick would be bank deposits. Banks are paying you 15% per year on your deposits, but people don't really trust the banks, so they don't bring the money to the banks. So the more popular option right now, and because people are really poor in Ukraine and getting poorer and poorer thanks to the corrupt government, people are buying apartments. So they're buying a one-bedroom apartment, like really small one, 30 square meters, and that's their investment. And they're like hoping that they'll buy an apartment. They probably, they're at least thinking about that you can rent it out and get some money back, and then the prices will grow, you will sell it, and here we go, you're a good investor. No, it doesn't work like that. And the third option, which is gaining popularity, is crypto. And we have a new study which says that 13%, 13% of population who has access to the web has crypto. 13%. And this is official statistic. It's just been released 2 days ago. So Ukraine is really big on that. And we don't have any regulation. And we're big on that because we don't have any regulation. Because in our country, if you have regulation, they'll come to you and they take away whatever you have. But everything is changing. And the market is so big right now that we need some rules of the game so the businesses can come and develop local services. Because now we go to Bitfenix, now we go to the other exchanges outside of Ukraine. And the most popular way of buying Bitcoin, what do you think is? What's the easiest way and the most popular way of buying Bitcoin in Ukraine? What do you think? Cash. And there's a lot of cash, trust me. A lot of people are going to the massage rooms to, repair their bags because you have to, carry a lot of heavy money around. But it's not scalable. We understand that cash is not scalable. We need banking system, although we don't like them, but we need them because banking system is trillions of dollars, which you can not easily, but exchange between accounts. So the rules of the game. So we came up, we have a totally different approach from all the other countries. No offense to Belarus, to Kazakhstan, to Georgia. So our approach to regulation or rules of the game is different. We as a community of people who do with the trading, with the mining, with the software development, we joined forces and decided, okay, instead of waiting for government to say what's the rules of the game and how they can regulate us, we're going to create our rules which we like to have in our own country, and then we come to a government and say, this is what we want, please make it legal. And this is exactly what we are doing. So the key points of the regulation: if you're exchanging crypto to crypto, forget about the government. The government has nothing to do with that. So crypto to crypto, it will be stated in the law that the government has nothing to do with that. Mining, no regulation, no license, and just plug it in, off you go. License activities, the only again, license, it's the technical word. I hope there won't be a license, but anything which would be regulated is the exchange. An exchange. That's a thing in English, because in Russian we have обменка and we have birja. And so there's basically it's a difference between exchange and OTC. So the only these are the only two counterparties which would be regulated, because they deal with crypto and with fiat. Then tokenization, we're going to put it in the regulation with the smart contract. They will be equal to the regular contracts. By the way, till date in Ukraine, you have to have the apostille on your documents. If you don't have apostille on documents, the government won't take it. You know, it's 2018. And as a regulated, we think that the regulator should be the Commission, National Securities and Exchange Commission. So basically, it's SEC. But instead of having direct regulation, we're thinking that it should be a self-regulated organization, like an association, which would be actually regulated, but it would be under the SEC. That's our plan. And again, the association is a market. It's not the government. And the most important point, and that's the only point which government actually interested in, taxes, how to get taxes on that. So we proposed a flat rate, 5%. So anything which you receive from exchange to your bank account gets taxed at 5%. You pay 5%, and it's your clean money. You can send it anywhere. You can buy a Lambo, you can buy a house in Miami, you can buy a similar house on the top of a mountain in Tbilisi, wherever you want to spend it on. No VAT, and the rules of the game should not change until 2025. For individuals, unfortunately, there is also the, what is it called? Military tax or something like that, additional 1.5%. Hopefully it will be cancelled soon, so it will be returned to 5% again. So again, no taxation on exchanging crypto to crypto, tokens to crypto, nothing like that. And if you're mining and you're exchanging and getting fiat, you're also paying 5% flat. If you're not changing to fiat, you're not paying anything. We're looking further than just regulation. Because of a corrupt government, we think that we should, you know, get rid of a government. But it's not that easy. So we propose putting in charge Android. That's why we have Android on the bottom. So that's the new герб. Как будет герб на английском? Symbol? Not symbol. Yes, Boulevard, something like that, yeah. So basically, that's what we propose. And the other thing, why I showed you Ukraine as the big market, well, to be honest, I listened to the presentation of CoinSpot, not. The guys from local exchange, I can't remember, yeah. I look at their website, and there's hardly any bids to sell or buy crypto. And the reason for that, you don't have a critical mass. I'm sorry, but Georgia, Armenia, Kazakhstan, they're small countries, small economies, not enough people. So I don't really believe that there will be BTC to Lari or BTC to Drum pairs, at least liquid pairs. We're talking about like thousands of Bitcoins. So the only solution is to join a bigger market. And that's what we want to do. So we want to connect all the ex-Soviet countries together and create one huge liquidity pool. I'm not saying that I'm going to do it just on my exchange. I'm just saying this is the idea for the whole plan as the Blockchain Association of Ukraine. So I invite you to Ukraine I invite you to join association. We're still drafting the law. By the way, all the drafts are on the Steemit and Golos networks. It's a blockchain networks, so you can have a look at them. Everything is recorded. Most of the meetings are recorded on video, so you can have a look at them. They're in Ukrainian and Russian. So everything is open, free and open source. You can, if you have ideas, please share with them, share them with us. And these are my contacts. And Madhgop. Questions? No? You have a question, okay.
Hello, my name is Raed from Saudi Arabia. I would like to ask you about the association and how you connect with the other associations of the other countries as your strategy similar to your plan for the exchanges.
Very good question. Sorry for the 5-0 in the first match, by the way, but so associations, we plan to sign the agreement memorandum between the Georgian Association and our association today. That's a start. We have a similar plan with the Belarusian, Russian Association, and I haven't heard anything from Armenia, but anyway, we are open. The whole idea is we want to unite markets, and we want to unite the players. We don't want to unite the governments, because that's not what we are fond of. So players, united, with pleasure. If you, are you founder of association or something like that? I hope so. You hope so. Anyway, found the association, we will definitely sign it with you.
5%. Why 5%? Isn't it too much? Now imagine I'm trading with Bitcoin, so I pay 5% for every deal?
No. This is good question. Thank you. So there are two scenarios. One scenario, for example, you've been trading somewhere outside of Ukrainian exchanges or registered in Ukraine exchanges, and you just deposited the crypto, sold it for the local currency or for the dollar, wherever, and got the dollar on your bank account. In that case, there is no proof, and it would be really hard to prove at what price you bought the crypto. In that case, there will be a taxation of 5%. The other scenario is when you had fiat, you brought it on the exchange, you traded, you got some profit, and then you withdrew everything. The only 5% would be paid on the profit, not on the whole thing.
Still 5%, it's too much. It will be very tough for some kinds of businesses, believe me, because especially if you doing your cryptocurrency for special tasks and you sell it to a special section of people, yeah, 5% may be really too much. Even if you if you withdraw with a credit card, normally it's about 3 to 4%, right? And you're going to 5. It's maybe too much.
It's not correct to compare when you withdraw with credit card and when you withdraw from exchange, because when you withdraw from the credit card, you already paid taxes to the government. And I'm just saying that this is basically you're legalizing whatever crypto that you have. Trust me, 5% is nothing. The guys who just did ICOs.
Well, for miners, maybe it's fine. But if you're not mining...
And what do you do?
Well, okay, I bought it in Ukraine, kept it for, I don't know, 2 months. It went up for 10%. Then I sell it back. So you take out half of
5% from the 10.
I take 5 from the 10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And again, we propose Ukraine as the new Cyprus. So Ukraine would be the place where you land your money and then you withdraw it to wherever you want. But you pay taxes here in Ukraine. Legalize it. Why not? Yeah, I'm still in the okay. We're a corrupt country.
First of all, thank you for an interesting presentation and sharing Ukrainian experience with us. You mentioned the only licensed entities in terms of trading Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is 2 exchanges. Could you elaborate on the scope of the licensing process, not in very details, but on high level, and what are the main key issues where they are regulated by the Commission you mentioned in Ukraine? Is this anti-money laundering, AML?
Yeah, exactly. So it's AML, KYC. The only reason we have to do that is because the exchanges hold fiat accounts and crypto accounts, and fiat is regulated. So it would be we would have to do it because FAT will tell us to do that. So if you want to work with the banks, we have to be AML KYC. If it's AML KYC, there has to be a guideline. So this guideline is licensed. That's what I meant.
So in terms of AML, you got KYC. Is it requirement? Maybe it's too details, but if you know, it would be great for us to know. Does the authority, regulator, requires identification of the person who creates the accounts at the exchange? Identification of the people who have a wallet at the exchange?
Only if you're withdrawing fiat.
Only in case of fiat, right?
So if you withdraw fiat and you want to withdraw it, in that case you have to register your bank account with the exchange.
Not in advance, but after you decide to withdraw.
That's the plan.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So if you want just to trade crypto to crypto and you just traded and left, no obligation because it's crypto to crypto.
Okay. Understood. And the second issue was consumer protection. What are the requirements for the consumer protection? Are there any disclosure requirements? Can you go into details about the nature of
I can't tell you to details because that will be up to the market what exactly we want.
So it is not in the draft yet. So
no, we haven't done
bylaws,
that. Not really, no. But anyway, it won't be heavily regulated because if we over-regulate it, I mean, no one will come to Ukraine. We understand that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.